Okay, so we're going to continue on with our magazine cover design today. And before I start this today, I want to open my reference magazine. That's going to be really important as I'm designing this. So I'm going to get that open. So once you have both your files open, you're going to go to Window, Arrange, and you're going to go to 2-up vertical. And that will allow you to see both your magazine covers at the same time. I'm going to zoom out a little bit on this one since it's such a small image, and this will make it really easy to work back and forth. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to grab this blue color and apply it to my title. So select color range. There's different ways to do this. And now my color has changed, so let me grab that again. And then if I hit Option Delete, it will fill with my foreground color. And then Command D to deselect. Okay, so it's starting to take shape here, looking somewhat similar. And I do like this background here that they have, this kind of little light blue paisley. So I would like to bring in something like that. So I'll do a quick internet search for that. Okay, and I'm going to lower the opacity of that a little bit right now. That's something I might change later, but for right now, it's a little bit bright, so I'm going to take that down a little bit. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to activate the type tool, and I'm going to start putting in some of my text. And I want to match colors here, but it doesn't have to match the words. So you can change your titles to be anything you want. And remember, these titles represent or would represent articles that you would have inside of your magazine. Okay, so going to my type tool and pay attention to your fonts here. So right here I have a sans serif font, pretty bold. It could be Impact, so I could try something like that to start with. Let me go ahead and come over here and grab this pink. And this is going to be Left Justified. And instead of Raise a Happy Kid, I might have something similar to that later on, but right here I'm going to type in strong values. And I want to fill my space nicely, but I want to make sure that I'm not close to that edge here. And then I'm going to, actually I think I will tie into this, so I'm going to return, but I'm going to take it off cap locks and then continue typing. And this part, I'm going to lower the size a bit. And I also want to work on leading on this whole title. Do you see how much space is in between these different lines of text? So what we can do is I can grab this. I'm going to go to Window and go to Character. And under my character window, right here is leading. So right now I'm on auto leading. And you just pick a value and see what happens. So I'm going to go to 18. So 18 is way too close. So I'm just going to go up a little bit until it looks good. But it looks like a title that's together. You don't want these different lines of text touching each other. That's really important. So a bad leading job, you would have some of your letters touching from top to bottom. Right now they're not touching, but I think that's just a little bit too tight. So I'm going to go up one more. And to me, that looks perfect right there. So much better than what I had before. So if I Command Z, you can see the difference. So that's what I started with. And then going back to after I leaded, and that's a much tighter, better, more cohesive title. Okay, and I'm just going to continue working on these for a little bit. I'll get the left side done, and that'll be it for today. Okay, so right there I'm using my Smart Guides to get those two titles lined up. And you'll notice I also have a space here between my first title and my second one. So not only is it a different font in a different color, but I left a space between them. And if you'll remember the principle of graphic design proximity, you don't want these titles too close in proximity to each other. You want to separate them out slightly so that they visually are their own thing. Okay, if your Smart Guides are driving you crazy like mine are, remember you can always pull out a guideline from your ruler, and that also helps just get everything lined up perfect. When you're done with your guideline, by the way, go up to the Move tool, which is the very top tool, and just grab it and drag it back. Or you can hit Command H to temporarily hide it. Okay, so you can see the kerning on this is way off. So going back to Window, Character. Actually, my character icon is right there, so I can just grab that and make that. Actually, let's try it on auto and see how that works. And got a typo there. And I'm going to make Happy Child a lot bigger. Let me make this a little bit bigger. And I think I will tighten up that kerning just a little bit. And I want to put a stroke on this because it's hard to see. I want to stick with the pink so that I'm tying back in up here. But I want to see, be able to read this, and being on top of the blanket and the baby, it's hard to do that. So I'm going to go to my layer styles and I'm going to just add a stroke. And I'll look at different colors of this. So right now it's on a black stroke and that works okay, but let's look at it with white. And that actually works okay as well. So I think I'm going to stick with white and maybe increase the size to 2. You don't want to overdo it with this. So we don't want giant strokes that's really distracting. It's something that you don't even really want to have to be able to see too much, but it's just there to help with the readability. Okay, and you'll notice that my magazine cover isn't looking exactly like this one. I didn't want to have too much text down here because I do have a busier background down here, but I do want to line this up with my text that's up towards the top and maybe pull it up a little bit off of his hand. So just always be thinking about those design elements and how it's going to look better. I'll check that alignment. Okay, and I have a good start with this magazine cover. I think it looks nice. It's emulating my reference magazine cover pretty nicely, and I think so far it looks pretty professional, and that is the goal. So I'm going to